Hi friends, Russ here, having more Daisy Lever Gun fun. And this is the problem solving video on some of these Red Riders. And it just is like a coincidence. I found this gun and I decided I was going to see if I could solve the problem of why the cocking lever snapped off and why the gun wasn't cocking at all. It didn't even try to. So I put another cocking lever on the gun, right there, and it still wouldn't cock, so it had nothing to do with the configuration of the front of the cocking lever. This gun just happens to be, if you can read the medallion here, a 70th anniversary Red Ryder. It's in pretty good condition. It doesn't have a lot of handling wear to it. It has neglect wear. It's like someone tried to use the gun. It was full of BBs whenever I got it. They tried to use it. It wouldn't cock. They couldn't fire it, and so they just didn't care what happened to it. It doesn't show signs of a lot of dirty hands rubbing on the forearm or on the wrist here. So I decided I was going to take it apart, and I had a hunch what might be causing the issue. This is a common trigger that you would find inside of one of these Red Ryders. It has the anti-bear trap ratchet on here. It has the sear, which sets after this rides up all the way to here. It catches on the sear, pushes it back. That's how it's supposed to work, okay? But what I found is whenever this is coming back, whenever you go to cock the gun and this catches inside of here to push it back and start its journey up the anti-bear trap, instead of it riding up this way, it was butting into it. Now, several things could have caused that. Inconsistency with the way the trigger was sitting, the way it was drilled from the factory, and the bolt, although that's probably not the case. Or it could be a bad trigger assembly. So I thought I would just try something. Now this is a new trigger assembly here, or one I've taken out of a practically new gun, I think. Nothing really wrong with it. The one that I took out of that gun, if you look here, you see this little bar here that sticks out? It's made of plastic. This angled piece rides down, and when it comes back up, it's stopped by that little bar. Well, the problem was it was coming up too far. If it didn't go up quite as far, then whenever this came back, it would ride right over top of it the way it's supposed to. So I was able to take it over to the vise, and I took the angle on this and bent it a little straighter, down a little further, so that whenever this returned, it couldn't go up that high. It went up this high, and that was just enough to allow this to not hit, but ride up over top of it. And the gun cocks perfectly every time now. It's a shame somebody was neglecting this gun because they couldn't use it. I can just see frustration. These are frustration marks on here. You know, just let it sit outside. Let it sit in the garage. Let it sit anywhere. Let it get dirty. They didn't care if it rubbed against something and knocked the paint off. They didn't care if this silver-toned front, here, let me get that off of there, the front bar, they didn't care if that was pitted and rusty. That's supposed to be strapped on the forearm. It doesn't have signs of anything except maybe scratches on here, not hand wear, nothing. Inside of the gun, if you look inside, very clean, very clean. It feeds well. Everything seems to be working great, like the gun was hardly ever used, because, in my opinion, it wasn't. So what happened to the cocking lever? Well, in my opinion, they got ballistic with it and cranked on it as hard as they could. And these being the narrow spots of the lever, it snapped off. And I'm sure when that happened, they said, the heck with it, and they just let the thing sit. So it's a shame. The gun is practically brand new. And now now that I have it working, I'm kind of happy I have another gun to use. I'd like to know something, though. If you folks could give me your opinions on something. This is a 70th anniversary model. And if you look at the logo here, the Red Ryder logo, it's nice and deep, very legible. There's no shallow spots on it. The wood is in good shape. It doesn't have a bunch of gouges in it or anything. It needs to be refinished. And I think I could probably clean up or refinish and repaint the receiver on this one also. It has its elevator for the rear sight to be adjusted. This, something could be done with that. We could clean that up. Maybe it looks silver tone again. It even has the lanyard. So, the thong. If you have an opinion, should I keep this gun and use it for one of my projects that you've seen on so many other videos? Or should I try to repair it, repair the looks of it, and just keep it as a 70th anniversary? Put it in the arsenal, so to speak. Give me your opinion, and if you're not a subscriber already and you want to leave your opinion, hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think. Hey, this is Russ. We'll talk again soon. Have a good day.